What's going on YouTube? H-Dub here, back with Raid Shadow Legends guides and graphics, and today we're going to talk about an absolute PvP monster. That is Harima, definitely one of the top ranked damage dealers currently for Live Arena, as well as, Plat Reset, and of course you can use her in Tag Team. Now, she has 3 active abilities and a passive. Her passive is probably the reason a lot of people ban her. She's also very versatile as a nuker because she has a single target ability that triggers an AoE, as well as an AoE that cannot be resisted by demon spawn faction champions such as Duchess, such as Canderfon, such as Mortu. A lot of these champions that you're going to see in-game, PvP content. Her A1 isn't bad as well, has a chance to place a decrease attack, but we don't really want to be placing, decrease attack. Even the provoke here is a chance for us to get sheeped. It is a huge gamble. I'm not going to go in depth about the kit because if you're watching this, you probably already know what her kit is. Now, the recommended blessing that we would take on her for sure is going to be polymorph, just because, this brings so much RNG to the fight. You can elect to go for something like, Ward of the Fallen. Life Harvest is also really good for her. I really like Ward of the Fallen though, because it's going to give her some more HP. Also at the higher awakening level is going to give her more crit damage, as well as, damage mitigation, which her passive also provides. Now, as far as the gear goes, we have her in a lethal set as well as perception just to get the stats that we need. So these are the total stats: 35k HP, 7.3k defense, 177 speed, could definitely be better. Crit capped with 300 crit damage. Now, her masteries are going to be pure nuker masteries. Let me move myself. These are, pure nuker masteries. You want shield breaker because everybody's, having bolster right now. Shield champions are hot for PvP. So you have to make sure you're taking shield breaker on your nukers down into helm smasher. Try to get as much damage as possible on the way. And then the defense tree just to try to get some damage mitigation as well as opportunity to counterattack and cut in. Let's go ahead really quickly and just see, some of the areas in the game where she shines. Obviously, she is a, pure PvP monster. We're hopping in right now. I'm going to let this run on full auto, right? So they've got protected net crit. We're going to target the Duchess here. We know that Harima is going to absolutely destroy demon spawn. A2, kill Marishka. Marishka's going to revive them. We're going to get a reset. Make sure we kill the reviver. We have locked them out already, but let's try to hit her through Necrit protection and get her down so that Marishka doesn't get an opportunity to get back up at all. And the targeting. Come on with the miss. I don't understand why, like, after someone revives, if you have the target on them, it doesn't follow, but it's fine. They locked out. We're going to kill her. Marishka's not getting back up. It's not going to restart the loop of revives. It's fine. We got a Pythion here. We got a Mithrala here. Likely in Bolster as well. Everybody's trying to get, protected by Bolster. So, yep, here we go, Bolster. Let's go ahead and we actually reset the Mithrala, which is a sign that this guy probably doesn't have that great of gear, but it's okay. AoE again. And we even wiped through, Pythion, who does damage mitigation, based on the amount of buffs the team has. Obviously, they couldn't buff up that much. If we look at this team here, 2, demon spawn champions. These are the teams you want to be targeting with her. You see Mortu Macabre teams. You want to be targeting Mortu Macabre teams with your Harima, 100%. So obviously we go first here. We can target the Duchess, A2, and we lay the Duchess down, no problem. AoE, she's going to weak hit on Mashal because he is an undead horde champion, but she can't land weak hits on demon spawn, faction champions, no matter if they're spirit affinity or not. So Duchess, spirit affinity, Harima cannot land a weak hit on her. She's also good in PvE content. I'm not going to show her in PvE content for this video, but I am going to let you know exactly where she is applicable. So the Iron Twins, if you take a look at the Iron Twins has abilities that will ignore defense, right? So if you look here, after the first 2 hits, attacks all enemies. The damage inflicted to each enemy increases according to the number of turns remaining on the Iron Brand, and it's going to ignore the target's defense. Harima is great here to mitigate damage against the Iron Twins. If we look at the passive ability of the Ice Golem, the Ice Golem is going to ignore 50% of each enemy's defense. When he smacks with his passive, Harima is going to just chop that up and you'll be good to go. The Sand Devil is another place where Harima is great because the boss ignores 100% of the target's defense, and Harima is going to go ahead and mitigate that some for your team, give you some more survivability. So she is definitely applicable to PvE content. The boss in Faction Wars Stage 21 Foreshadow can also ignore his defense. She is amazing there. So guys, I know I'm not doing a showcase, but trust me, if you read the passive, how her passive works, it is going to work for you in these dungeons. And these are some of the harder dungeons. So she really shines in this content. If you have one and you're struggling in these places, you should definitely, attempt to use your Harima there and see how it changes the composition of the teams that you have picked. But that is going to be all as far as the showcase is concerned. I showed the build, I showed the gear, I showed the blessings, I showed the masteries. Now it's time for us to take a look really quickly at how she grades out on the AftershockUnited.gg website. So as we have, pulled up here, here's our tier list, our master tier list. And if we search for Harima, Harima is here and she grades out pretty well. This will also be updated. I believe that, her rating has been updated recently. So within the next few hours, you should see an updated, grade for her, just because she shines in so many other areas. And obviously we update these things as we test them out. So right now she has about an overall champion rating of 77, but you're gonna see that this actually goes up sometime over the next few hours. She's pretty much good almost everywhere in the game, guys. Arena, Faction Wars, Doom Tower, she can be used. Demon Lord, she is applicable there, but not the greatest. Hydra, she can be used there, but you probably don't want to use her there too much. You can bring her in as a provoker, but not the greatest. Spider's Den, not the greatest. She can be used in Dragon, but most champions can. Fire Knight, not so much. Ice Golem, she's great. Iron Twin, she's great. As far as scarcity goes, this champion, there aren't too many people who do what she can do. That damage mitigation with the passive and, not being able to hit strongly on her with the Demon Spawn faction is a huge one. She definitely counters all of those Demon Spawn champions very well. I think that they specifically built her just to counter PvP meta. As far as progression goes, great progression champion and definitely viable in the end game. Now, that is going to be all for this video though, guys. If you would like to take a look, deeper into how to counter Harima, then you're 100% going to want to go ahead and check out this full in-depth, article that has been written up about, everything about Harima, different builds, different potential masteries, and how to counter her. Down at the bottom here is how to counter her. But go ahead and take a look at the article. It's definitely going to give you all the information that you need. And if you have any extra questions, 100% put them down in the comments below. But until next time, guys, I've been HWZ. Be good and be well.